They always ask me about the garden party, as if it were merely a charming little sketch of a summer afternoon in Wellington. But it is not just about sandwiches and marquees, you see. It is about the terrifying, beautiful fragility of our existence and the walls we build to keep the dark out. When I wrote about the Sheridan family, I was writing about a kind of blindness. The garden itself is an Eden, yes, but an entirely artificial one. It is a fortress of privilege. Think of those enormous canna lilies that Mrs. Sheridan orders. They are not just flowers, they are an extravagance, a suffocating display of wealth meant to overpower the senses and keep the harshness of the world at bay. They are the beautiful lies the upper classes tell themselves to pretend that suffering does not exist just beyond their gates. And then there's the hat. Oh, Laura's hat. People often overlook the black hat with the gold daisies, but it is the very anchor of the story. When news of the dead Carter arrives, Laura's first instinct is true and human. She wants to stop the party. She feels the inherent wrongness of celebrating while a family mourns just down the hill. But her mother does not argue with her on moral grounds. She simply places that extravagant trimmed hat on Laura's head. The hat is a bribe. It is the seduction of vanity and class privilege. When Laura looks in the mirror, the shadow of the dead man fades, replaced by her own enchanting reflection. The hat literally and metaphorically shields her eyes from the grim reality of the cottages below. It is the armor of her social class, blinding her to the suffering of others and binding her to the superficial world of her family. But the real journey, the true heart of the narrative, begins when the party ends and Laura must walk down the hill with the leftover sandwiches. That descent is a journey into the underworld, a mythological crossing from the realm of the living into the realm of the dead. She's leaving the bright sunlit illusion of her youth and stepping into the shadows of mortality. The broad road narrows, the light fades, and she crosses the boundary from the world of frivolous things into the solemn presence of death. When she finally sees the dead man lying there, what does she find? Not horror, but a profound, almost devastating peace. He is remote, untouched by the trivialities of lace and lilies and garden parties. In his stillness, he reveals the utter absurdity of the Sheridans' world. Death elevates him, making him far more dignified than the wealthy people chattering on the lawn above. And yet, she cannot take off the hat. She can only ask forgiveness for it. "Forgive my hat," she says. She is apologizing for her privilege, for her life, for the very fact that she gets to walk back up the hill into the light while he must remain in the dark. At the end, when she tries to explain it all to her brother Laurie, she cannot find the words. "Isn't life," she says, "isn't life," because there is no single word for it. Life is the bright lawn and the dark cottage. It is the beautiful hat and the dead man. It is a terrible, exquisite contradiction, and we are all just trying to walk the path between the two, carrying our baskets of scraps and wearing our foolish, beautiful hats.